We're back, and we're at the new home of 2/3 1 podcast. It's still me and Jason. We're still drinking beer, and we're still talking beer, but with a slight change to format. So grab a drink, sit down, and watch the latest episode. Peace. We're back.
2/3 1 podcast.
Right, chaps, can you believe it? We are recording in a pub.
In the pub.
The pub. Cheers,
Lads.
cheers. We are in, arguably,
The new home of 2/3 1 podcast.
Yeah.
Plug and Taps in Preston. If you've not been, you need to get yourself down here.
It's
And
that.
on National Bobby Day.
National Bobby Day.
And for those that don't know, Bobby is the name of my son.
Yeah.
Which
So
is
it is.
also the reason why we've been out of action for a while.
You see, there's been like a year gap between episode 6
Yeah.
and 7.
I looked the other day, like when I was last on, right? It does feel like a while ago. It's probably months. I looked, it was like 2 years. But now that you mention it, my kid does walk now, and like Beck was pregnant.
We've
at
both
the time.
had kids.
Yeah.
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 Put on a bit of timber.
Yeah,
I
same.
just look pregnant.
Nice.
So we're back, and we're going to try and put out more regular content. Arron's going to be in more.
Hi.
I think regular.
Yeah.
On the regs, if you can't make it, he won't be fired.
Well,
It's a Saudi deal. Isn't
20-minute train ride away if we're in plug and taps, which is good.
Happy days. Happy days.
We've just got to be good our first few times, haven't we, and not like trash the place. We've got
He
it's
said
probation,
the
isn't
only
it?
caveat from Ben, one of the greatest barman in the Great Preston
greatest.
area. The greatest barman in the Great Preston area. Beer tastes better up north. Said just don't burn it down, because obviously
Yeah.
that ruins downstairs as well, so
I'm not worried about us
Don't
two,
burn it down.
but Aaron's known for...
shitting himself.
Oh,
Welcome back.
True.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Aaron was here for one episode. I've ruined
did I
it
shit
already.
myself? Can't remember.
I think I did.
Yeah.
No, in that last one you were in.
I just remember. I nearly said his name, talking about the guy who
Unbelievable.
says what he says.
Oh, not that guy again.
That's it. And I nearly said his name there, which I really don't want to do because I don't think that's fair. His name's Roger. It is actually.
Is that what? His name?
Yeah, his real name's Roger. Yeah, yeah. I don't think I'll run into him. Like
Has
I'm
he
not
ever
saying for a
used
long
the
time.
walkie-talkie? Over Roger.
How's he ended up as a segment on our podcast? Again.
Item 1, Roger. Right.
Right, what's everyone drinking?
Right.
You going first?
Well, yeah, because I shouted the loudest.
Well.
So I'm on a lager from
Vinohradský.
Vinohradský Pivovar.
Like that, yeah.
This is the 11 lager, and it's very, very, very good. It's got a lot of good earthy flavours.
So you just learned about Vinohradský literally about 45 minutes ago. And I recommended that you try it, and verdict is they're really good, aren't they? They are.
When you say you just learned about them, what did you learn? I'm not. That's not a quiz. You're not on the spot. Like, what have you told them about them? Because I need to learn.
So I learned. Well, sorry, I told you of Vinohradský. I said they are good.
I
And he learned
think
that they were
I've
good.
had a few of their beers in cans.
Yeah, they're very like generic. Yeah, so
Yeah, and
then you
quite.
get the
Are they
numbers.
500s or even like? Are there some weird?
I think they're close.
The 500.
I think they're big. No, in my head they're like a weird number, like not even 5, 6, 8, like some like you know when you get like American ones, it's like that. It's something
20
mental,
ounce.
something, yeah. Because I remember getting them in the
20's
northeast from I don't remember what bottle shop up there, but coming away with a couple of cans, and they were like, we've just got these in. They were quite expensive, but they were kind of like double dry hopped lagers. It was like everything was lagers, but with hops chucked everywhere.
craft lagers, yeah,
I'm like, yeah, let's do that. And they were good. But that's all I remember is big cans, good lager.
So I can't remember which variations I've tried. I've definitely had 12, and I think I've had another 2. 11 is the one that you've got, and it's not one that I've tried. And then they did have another one on tap, which I think kicked at the weekend, unfortunately. So we're not going to be able to have that one.
20-ounce can it'll be.
Nice.
591 mil.
Well, there you go. You learn.
You can pick this back up on the footage, but next t-shirt idea I just said out of nowhere, which is big cans, good lager. Maybe you could get that on a little picture of my tiny sausage finger hand with an enormous can, like 4 times the size.
The thing is, I'm
good.
Big cans.
And what are you on, mate?
I mean, if we are all wearing t-shirts,
big cans, good lager.
good lager next time. That'd be great.
We're just with a really, really shit Galahad label.
Yeah, so I'm on Turning Point.
Nice. Is that what I've got as well? Are we both on that? The Digital Witness one?
No.
Oh.
I'm on live or live. What did we decide?
Live from Mars.
We couldn't decide if it was live from space. Space. Live from Mars is the program.
That's the show.
That's the TV show. So we couldn't decide if it was live from Mars or live from live from space or live from space.
Right.
Yeah.
Live.
So I think it's live from space.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
This is there was the thing in, it's like in the 80s, The Who put out a live album called The Who, called The Who Live in Leeds. And like they got like a massive boost in like foreign tourism, thinking that like loads of people came thinking that the album was called The Who Live in Leeds, and they were like, "Oh, we'll go to Leeds and see The Who." Like, no, they don't fucking live there. It's not real.
I went to the anniversary gig
To see The Who.
Couldn't find him. No, they did that anniversary gig at Harewood House. I went to it.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it was part of O2 did them weird festivals outside of like normal festival places.
Oh, right, okay.
O2 Wireless, Rogue satellite festivals, and it was the anniversary of the album, so the Who played without the nonce guy.
Without Townsend?
Yeah.
Is he not?
Was he?
Nah, I think they let him out. Not out, didn't put him anywhere. They were just like, you're fine, whatever.
Was he there? I feel like there was. I feel like he wasn't there.
I don't know.
That thing is, I
really like a Pete Townsend song, a solo Pete Townsend song.
Really?
Yeah. And we played it at our wedding.
Oh.
I know, it's good.
First dance to a Nancy song.
It was My Love Open the Door. It's off Look Who's Talking.
Oh.
which is about kids.
Oh dear.
Shit. At least it wasn't R. Kelly.
Well, this is true.
I'm also on Turning Point. Digital Witness, cask. Just because I chose it because it was 4%, and unlike you two, who've had a few warm-ups before I got here.
One warm up.
Well, this is my first drink.
Yeah, so it's your warm up. Yeah.
You should do them. Oh no, and this is my first drink.
Oh, and this is my 10th drink.
My favourite ever one of those is there's like 20 people all lined up, and then afterwards, the girls there at the end. I forgot to record.
But you're a wedding photographer, right? So do you see this a lot now?
No, I don't see it.
No.
Yesterday, right, I did a wedding yesterday in like near Whalley. Do you know that towards Clitheroe?
Whalley came up in the last podcast, by the way, because that's where the beer shop was.
Oh, yeah, Whalley Wine Shop. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Whalley, and I went WHALLE.
Yeah.
And then you went nailed it.
Yeah. Right. No. So yes, near
Whalley's
Whalley.
a regular feature on the podcast.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're in Whalley Corner now. No, so I didn't go to the beer shop. I did a wedding there yesterday, and the groomsmen all had me recreate the Spider-Man meme.
Oh.
But that's as close to doing one of those like sort of
Were they all
things that I've ever done. Yeah.
Did they all look the same?
No.
No. Shall we just do it now?
Liked it.
We did it, yeah.
No, they didn't. They were very nice, but no, they weren't. They were actually an incredibly diverse group of people.
Oh. Spider groomsmen.
Right, let's move on, chaps.
Yes.
What's everyone drank recently? You want to go first?
I'll tell you. So when you asked me that before, like, oh, like, what have you had? Yeah, what have you had recently? I thought, I'm going to go back and have a look at, like, what have I had? What have I posted about on the Instagram? Because I don't do that anywhere near as much as I should. And I thought I'd tell you this one, which is, I'll show it to you, and then I'm sure you've got some wizardry that you can, like, put it on there. The pressure's on now,
you used to be able to put it up.
There!
Yeah.
So it's there, right, as you can see.
There.
It's got a picture of a teddy bear on it, hasn't it? It's just there. Lovely. So it's this Super Soft by Sloop, and it was an IPA with no boil hops. So...
So only qualified?
No, well, yeah, I guess, but like... Oh yeah, that is now a thing. Maybe it was just presented in a different way and it blagged my head. It's just a cold IPA. Yeah. I hated it anyway.
This is supposed to be good beers.
Oh, good. No. Right, so I wrote, right, the tag that I wrote with it was, is this a new thing, right? The new trend everyone goes for, like milkshake IPAs, or when everyone puts Sabro on everything. Shout out to Sabro. It's a 6% IPA with no hops in the boil, so just in the whirlpool. It smells like laundry. So I'm not a big fan of that. That's the most recent trend that I've sort of had a few little goes of, and I don't really like the cold IPA.
What was the
thing.
brew? Just to name them out for their soft IPA.
Sloop.
Sloop.
No, yeah, Sloop Brewing, and Super Soft was the name of the thing.
Was it super soft?
It wasn't an unpleasant drink. It was just like, oh, I'm not into this. Just make an all IPA then. If you're going to fuck about and you come up with that, if you just stuck to the usual rules of it, you probably come up with something even better. Like,
but what can they do? Like, I guess they brew a beer, they can't not release it. Maybe it did turn out the way they wanted.
Yeah, maybe. I remember when there was a brewery in, was it like, it might have been Abbeydale or Thornbridge. They did an IPA and it went tits up. So they just let it go sour and then released it as a sour like months later. Oh, yeah, they spotted a problem with it and went, it's fucked. Yeah. So like we'll try this, and if it works, you've got a sour, and if not, then no harm, like whatever. And I like that idea.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
Don't know who else does that sort of thing. Probably don't really. Probably wouldn't admit it a lot, would you?
No.
Oh, we fucked this up.
No, you just say, we've generated a new sour because we're sour.
Have you bought that new fucked up beer?
Speaking of sours, nice segue. Mm-hmm. That's the beer I had that's been banging. It was from California, from a brewery called Chula Vista, and it was called Cerveza Limonada.
Right.
And it was I had to look it up because it tasted like the cleanest, like, tarts shandy you'd ever have.
Yeah.
But you could tell there was like other things underneath.
Yeah.
Super clean. So I looked it up, and it was a kettle sour, and I didn't know what that was.
Kettle sour. What do you do? You sour it on the boil, or
just after the boil, you let it cool, and you sour it in the mash tub.
All right. Okay.
You add lactose basically.
Yeah.
Just as it's cooling, or nearly cool.
Yeah.
And you can control how the sour's going. So rather than wait until the end, and then fingers crossed, fingers crossed you get a good beer. Yeah. You can really.
Oh, okay.
Where did you have that?
Diecast.
Oh, that place that you went to that I was too ill to go to.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, he booked it as well.
It was the best beer I've had in ages. So Thanks for that.
I still don't know why.
It wasn't that session, it was a different session.
Oh, right. I don't know why our group chat was renamed to Disco Fanny, because that happened that night and I never asked.
Daz, I think he's...
Is it not one for the podcast?
Probably not. No, Daz renamed it just on a whim the next day.
I'm going to totally take away any like cred that we've got as like craft wankers.
It's only
on the... All right, sorry.
Craft wanker.
Unfollow. Like you said about that like Radler, like shandy thing. Yeah. I had an absolutely banging big tin of Radler from like Lidl the other week, and I was like, when you're on holiday and they make a shandy with like Fanta lemon and it's like bitter and you get halfway down and you've already got heartburn. It was like that. Like really fucking holiday. Except I was in Accrington, so not so much.
So I have been hitting a lot of dippers of late.
Nice.
I'm on a strict budget these days, so what's attracting me the most is double IPAs.
When you say strict budget, do you go like, I'm only allowed to put X on beer?
I'll put it on myself.
Yeah.
Because my mortgage has gone up, I've got a kid, and amongst other things as well, cost of living and all that. So for some reason, I've just been hitting the dippers. So for me,
if it's 6% for an IPA, sorry, if it's like £6 for an IPA, or it's £8.50 for a double IPA.
And I've been drinking less,
Shop,
so
you go
it's
like, I'm going to have that big boy.
Yeah, I'm going to have a big boy more.
I saw like some tin that you'd had either yesterday or the day before, like a big 11% sour
come
thing.
on to that.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry.
Second. So the dippers that I've been hitting of late, I think I've got a special shout out for Cloudwater V14. That for me was fantastic. There was Nectaron. I don't know if you've tried this new hop Nectaron. It seems to be going around. Maybe you want to go and have a look at. And then the other beer was Verdant Cheeky Dipper, which was a collaboration with Green Cheek. Again, that was all Nectaron and potentially my beer of the year already.
Whoa.
Like, I think I'm going to, I mean, it's...
Already?
I mean, it's September.
Yeah, I felt that there when you said, whoa, that's a big shout out.
There's still 3 months left.
We're in Q3.
Yeah. So, but yeah, last Q3. It's business. It's business. Big time. Big time.
I work in queues.
Working queues.
B&Q.
Yeah.
B&Q. Basically, no, it's the Chinese fuck you.
Sorry, I've taken your shit joke off your head, B&Q. Do you ever like make a joke, right, and it doesn't, and it doesn't get as much like credit as you think it deserves. It'll stay with me forever. I remember at the back end of lockdown, right, going, you know, when like shops started opening up, but like it was 1 in, 1 out, all that carry on. I went to B&Q. And I swear to God, there was about 60 people in a line to get in. Like it was lovely and sunny, didn't mind standing there. It took probably about 40 minutes to get in. So I took a photo on my story of the B&Q sign, but extended it so that it said Q, like as in QUE. No one gave a fuck. Like, that's the best joke. All of lockdown, no one gives a shit. I'm still bitter 3 years later. I'm the real COVID tragedy.
What were you buying?
I needed a new cable for the lawnmower, right? I went in and the cable for the lawnmower was 20 quid and a new lawnmower was 50. So I went, gonna get a new lawnmower and the barbecues were half price. So I got a massive barbecue. So I left home in the middle of a pandemic to get what I considered an essential cable. I walked in and my missus looked at us like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I just bought a barbecue and a new fly maul. It was fine.
Did you fly more the old cable?
I should have. No, you mean, is that why I needed it? No, it was just shit. I just needed a new one. Fucking hell.
If anyone wants to buy that beach fly mold, it's one of them.
I actually gave that fly mold away free.
That's where you need to go.
I gave it away free with my old house. I was like, I'll just leave that there for the new guys. They'll need that.
They'll need that.
Yeah, because I needed that. I broke it. I barbecued it.
So
Barbecue you.
Barbecued.
the other beer that I had was the one I posted last night.
Oh yeah.
I had last night as well, so it was literally had last night, posted this morning, kind of thing, because I was like excited about it. It was Vault City's 5th anniversary beer, Even Cloudier, DDH hard lemonade.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've had their.
I don't think I've had anything from them, but that sounds
really.
Great.
So have you had any of their lemonade? Have you had any of their lemonade beers? So they do this like clouded lemonade beer, and then they mix around with the hops because of different variations. So I've had a couple of them. They did an 11% version. So pastry sour.
That's normal.
Pastry sour? Not too sure.
8 to 11 standard.
So it was Citra, Nelson, Motueka, and Amarillo, I think. And for me, it just brought back. So, do you remember Medjool dates?
Yeah.
Module dates on an autumn crisp day.
Module day.
So it gave me one of those moments. This is so.
Giving.
This was so lemony. It
Yeah.
brought back every single lemony sort of
Citrus.
feeling I've ever had.
Ooh.
And it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Good.
And again,
it looked really good, to be
Yeah.
fair. When I was reading the thing, I'm like, the sours is like, it's not a massive thing for me, but I read that and I'm like, fuck, that does sound fucking awesome.
They've
fair.
done a series in the past of non-fruited double dry hops, and they're fucking good. I think it's.
They don't fail. They don't fail. Whatever the target
yeah.
is that they're trying to be, Vault City just hit it.
They do a
every
lot of
time.
stuff for like Tesco, and
They hit them all. They
But
always hit them all.
I used to work with a guy who, he's not a beer
Roger?
guy at all. No, not Roger. I mean, it's Sam, right? He's not a beer guy at all. Like, just lager. Like when we go to the pub, he'll have a Veltons. Like he's just like that's as exotic as he goes.
For Veltons.
Veltins?
Veltons.
You're not in a Veltins?
It's just a lager. Where is it? Is it Czech? Is it what is it?
Veltins.
Belgian? I don't know. Veltons.
Will I see? Will I recognise it if I see it?
Yeah, blue.
Green, isn't it?
I thought the tap was a blue.
Well, colours.
Oh, I don't know. It's just a punk clip.
Um,
Yeah, it's green. It's just Veltons. What do you mean? Veltons. Never heard of Veltons.
We're all googling it now.
We're teaching a crack beer guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Veltons,
yeah.
fine. Yeah. Know what you mean now.
Where is it from?
Veltins Pilsner, German.
Oh,
Auf Deutsch.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
Veltons guy.
sorry, Germany.
Apologies.
Yeah, like he'd just have a
I
lager.
thought it was a Macam thing.
Meat and a Veltins.
I had a Veltons.
Veltons, like.
And a Veltins.
I don't know why I have to put the accent on. But no, but he goes like he'll have a Vault City, like he'll go by Tesco on the way home. Like, I'm gonna have one of them sour beers. I like them, and I'm like, yeah. Like he's like fell into it in the summer where it's like really refreshing to have, and I think that he's not. He wouldn't go like IPA route or pale ale route, but like big on sours. So I think they're doing their share of heavy lifting. I reckon, like those guys.
The guy that left and started Holy Goat, his stuff is crazy, but it's crazy good.
Holy Goat are insane. Like the amount of wild beers that they can produce with such unique flavours is just
But
different.
that's all they're doing. They're not doing stuff.
Not doing your usual lager.
And they've not got like a yearly special. Like Vault have got lemonade now, the apple and the Iron Brew that they'll do every year. Then they've got all the cake series to do, and then they do all these unique double dry hops, and then they have additionals on top plus the supermarket stuff.
I've never had the Iron Brew one. But I look for it.
So there is a Vault. So this is the beauty of recording at a pub, right? So in the fridge downstairs, there is some Vault. So we're about to go for a beer shortly.
We are.
Because we're all running on empties. So maybe we'll have a look at bringing a Vault back up.
Yeah,
possibly
definitely.
to share.
That bubblegum. Oof.
All right, we'll have a go.
They did a fizzy
We'll
blue
have a go.
bottle. Did they fizzy blue bottles?
I'd say that like it brings out my inner like.
Is that too gimmicky for you?
It makes me, as soon as I see those things, I feel like I turn into the dad who goes, "That's not bloody beer. That's not what beer tastes like." You know when you see like these like really like blue like the ones that use to pop and stuff like that, the cans will go bad. I just fucking hell. But
the colours.
I'm happy to try anything. Yeah.
Really.
Did you have the bookie? They did a Buckfast beer.
Oh no,
That was.
I've not had Buckfast since I was a kid. I remember like trying
You
it.
tried
like,
it,
yeah, a
so
long time ago.
they pretty much hit it.
Wow.
11% as well. They hit it.
Yeah.
Nail on the head.
The Buckfast was class.
Choice.
Some of the upside down cakes have been my favourites over the years. They're like pineapple upside down cake.
Oh, I've never tried any of them.
Oh yeah.
What is it? What it doesn't have to be upside down if it's a drink, mate. It's all mixed up.
He's taking over your shit.
I'm just like, do you know what I'm more doing? I've got my guard up. I'm like, he's going for all of his jokes. I'm a boss. I've got war ready. Come on, me, bro.
I fucking brought me along. Yeah, so they have cakes like, as well as all the fruit stuff. The cake stuff's always bang on. You drink it, And whatever it says on the label, it's that.
Yeah, they're wizards, man.
Every time, it's
I say it on my Instagram a lot. Like, I think they are
There was a
wizards.
mango one they did. Mango and something else, like probably about 4 years ago.
Do you like one of the ones in the supermarket is like mango triple fruited sour, which is like, that's a big shout to just chuck on a supermarket shelf and expect to sell, and it fucking sells. Like,
so good. Yeah, because like, I think so.
where are they based?
Edinburgh.
Leith.
Oh,
Is it Leith? Oh, I thought it was Edinburgh.
Edinburgh.
I thought it was Leith, sorry. But that's close to Edinburgh, isn't it? Anyway, isn't it? Yeah.
I thought they were Edinburgh. But they've definitely got a tap room in Edinburgh. Right. But they're in that vicinity.
hence the Iron Brew.
Do you know what? The Iron Brew series has always been good, apart from maybe 2 years ago when they did a lower ABV. It was 4% rather than the
I've
7%.
still not tried either.
Did you not?
I've still not tried
Really?
either, and I really wanted to try it, but
So-
the reviews that I saw, everyone said they nailed it.
It always tastes like Iron Brew, but that when they did the 4% one, it was noticeably thinner,
Yeah, well,
and
it will be, won't
it felt like a can that was just about to go flat, and you're like, oh, it's a bit disappointing because whereas the 7s were like syrupy.
Yeah.
I hate that thing when you wait for one of the like a beer that only comes out on a schedule like once every year, you know.
Putty.
Yeah, exactly, and it doesn't hit the spot. I always remember when Beavertown used to do Bloody Hell as a special back when Beavertown pre-Heineken days. And like the first time I had it, I'm like, that is unbelievable. That's the best thing I've ever had in my life. And I waited knowing like, oh, it's a once a year thing. Next year, going out and buying a few of them because I knew it would sell out. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine that. And now it's like it's just on the shelf in Sainsbury's at like half the ABV and just shit. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake, what have you done?
Yeah.
How times have changed.
This is it.
Should we go for a beer?
I've just got one more thing to do
go on.
before we... Oh, dogs are... Who let the dogs out?
The dog's got something
There you
to
go,
say
I'm
about
here
it.
as well, I'm here all week. No, not as good.
Do you know what? I was hyper-focused on who sings the song, who let the dogs out. That's where my brain was. I'm like, I think it's like the Baja Boys, but I've not got enough.
I don't even know.
Baja Men. I'm like, I've not got enough confidence to say that out loud. That's where I went, and I just sold you up the river.
Let him suffer. Let him die in his own shit joke. No, I just wanted to promote this before we go get another drink. Preston Pub Festival. It is a festival at the back end of September and the start of October. This is the festival to be at. 11 pubs across Preston who are all going to be putting on the finest craft beers and ales. Get yourself down. There's going to be food at a lot of them as well. Me and Jason are going to be doing an all day on Friday.
All day on the Friday.
We'll be doing a little bit of a vlog as well.
Nice.
So yeah, get yourself down and enjoy some great beers.
Get yourself 11 2/3 in one Friday. See where you end up.
I am unable. I'm unable to attend because my wife is at hen do all weekend, so I'll just have to drink 11 beers on my own.
No worries.
Great.
With the kids.
You can bring the kids because then they can carry it.
Dad, it's heavy. Shut up.
It's alright. Just have this Iron Brew shit. It's the wrong one. He's giving the kids the bomb.
So yeah, we're going to go and get another beer and then we'll be back in a second.
Right, welcome back. We've got beers we've refilled. I've gone for another Vinohradský lager.
Number 9.
It's the number 9 version, which is a slightly different style, which is Karanska.
Oh, okay. 3.9, so it's like a low ABV.
Yeah, it's a session lager.
Yeah.
So
Do you know what I love? And Brew York do this. The graphs.
Yeah, really good.
I love that.
the characteristics.
Yeah. So
It's
what's
like
it
you're
saying?
playing FIFA, isn't it? And your character attributes.
Yeah.
I like information. I like things like that.
That is
on
a
there.
great way. Give me like the 5
The
pillars.
graphic is much better than like the story. Like, bringing the something character, you know what I mean, like that. Oh, grapefruit, blah, blah, blah. Just give me a graph, give me a chart, data.
I'm all for that because
Love it.
I work in data, so for me that just works. Yeah, I love it.
Hold on.
But I didn't even know they did that.
Did you say you work in data? Oh,
No, data.
Data. When do you get a job at data? I was like, that's a bit of a
How is it anyway?
Do you know what? It's really nice. It's got a bit of a wet hay vibe, which I quite like.
Yeah.
Yeah. For a lager, yeah. It's better than just
Wet hay vibe.
Yeah. You ever smelt wet
Oh,
hay?
he's so crap now, isn't he? He's so crap.
You ever smelt wet hay?
I don't make a habit of it, if I'm honest. I'm not a horse.
Nah.
There's your shit joke. Isn't it? You got there finally.
Right.
And that was a setup you didn't see coming, was it? He got you.
What have you got, mate?
Yeah, so I went with Rivington, Tremors, their new dipper on keg, and I was just saying before we sort of went live that I think I'm enjoying the dippers more on keg than I am in can. But all my reviews are in can. So, yeah, I think this is...
Was that, when you said that, was that, I wasn't sure if you were meaning dippers keg versus can or
Rivington.
Rivy.
Yeah.
Do you mean Rivy dipper or do you mean just Rivy generally?
Rivy dippers, I think.
Right.
For some reason, I don't know why, I just seem to be enjoying them better on keg than I am in can. So maybe it's a good idea to go to a pub and drink them on keg. Yeah.
I've had a fair few,
Maybe this one. Yeah.
like Rivies since moving this way, because obviously they're one of the sort of local, like big lads. And I thought, like, the ones that are good, I think are really fucking good, like really mint. But I find, because I've got no local pride in it, I'm just like, with everything else, I'm like, oh, that's fine.
Bang
Fog
average.
is really good.
Yeah, fog, it's consistent, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's definitely, there's another one where I've gone, oh shit, that is absolutely excellent that I've had. But like, for the most part, I'm like, they're fine. 3.5. 3.5 untapped. Like, fine.
Yeah.
3.5.
7 out of 10. Stuff like that, I guess, yeah. And I've got Chain House Brewing Wildflower War Paint, which says is a pale ale New England / hazy, 5.6%.
I think
And this
I've had
is very nice.
Yeah, very nice. Very fruity though, like really
Yeah.
Rubicon.
Okay.
And now
Tropical.
brewed down the road.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah, so... oh, sorry, yeah.
That's Memphis.
It's the Spider-Man
That's,
meme all over.
No, I was doing some right-wing politics, sorry. That's a different thing.
That's a completely different thing. Yeah.
We should probably move into the next
Yeah.
section
Let's move
of
on.
the podcast, which is things that don't belong together. So, a bit of a backstory.
Be a podcast and right wing.
I'm quite progressive.
We should definitely move on. Liam's beer, who did feature in our first ever episode, he had the rating system.
Yeah.
Of how much of a beer snob he
yeah.
had.
Yeah.
He put out a poll on his Instagram page a couple of weeks ago, and he was asking, should mac and cheese belong on a roast, because Toby Carvery think that it should. So then that triggered a few other people to come up with theirs. I think Bex Beers, she also said, should lasagna be spicy? So I thought, as a shit section of the podcast, this would be a great idea to see if two things that don't belong together, which are slightly controversial. So I've got two. I've got one for and one against. I'll just go first, if that's all right.
Please.
Yeah.
So my against is dipping your fries into milkshake. If you do that, you are wrong'un. You are wrong'un. And this is a conversation I have with my stepson Dylan. He dips his fries into his milkshake because he thinks he's cool. But then on the opposite side, I really like chicken and waffles, and he thinks I'm a crazy person for liking chicken and waffles with syrup. So
I think it's absolutely fucking fantastic, chicken and waffles. Like,
Chicken and waffles?
it just goes
just
right
unbelievable. When
with the syrup and everything. Like,
I used to be a manager in a place in Sheffield that was like one of our main things. People used to come in for mac and cheese, and I was like, why on earth would you go
with a roast or without?
No, we did do a roast, but it didn't actually go hand in hand. You used to do mac and cheese in like a little skillet pan, and like with a few little bits and bobs in there, like chorizo and stuff like that. But people would fucking flock for that shit, and I'd never understand why you go out to buy pasta. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, why the fuck are you going to the pub and paying £9 for like a bowl of pasta that you could literally get the exact same thing at home for about 30 pence? I don't understand it. But we used to do fried chicken with waffles and syrup, and fuck, when I first saw it, I was like, that's weird, I'm going to have to try it, and never look back. Like,
Yeah,
it's
so
unbelievable.
my favourite is Mackie Mare. I can't remember the place that's in Mackie Mare. You can get lots of food in there, but there's one of the stores in there does chicken and waffles. It is a huge waffle, absolutely
It's
massive.
US Roscoe style.
Yeah,
big
and it's
round.
absolutely fantastic. One of the best chicken and waffles I've ever had.
So on this, chicken and waffles, it's all about the sweet savoury. And it's because the sweet's a hint to the savouriness, because the waffle shouldn't be over sweet. The chicken is like salty, it's got spice. And then you've got the syrup.
But this is what I'm teaching.
But this is
what I'm teaching my stepson right now. So Dylan,
But this is why I'm trying to Mackey's in the milkshake, because it's the same thing.
So I would put it in the milkshake
yeah,
because
do you know
like
what? Yeah.
It's
the
the same
artificial
thing.
like fruit thing would throw it off, but I've done it in a McFlurry, like the ice cream and
Dip some in.
in a chip. Yeah, I'm
No,
all
you're
over
right.
that. I like the salt sweet thing.
Salt sweet.
Yeah, so I'm having a go at him and he's having a go at me, but we're actually onto a similar thing, right? Because the whole thing that I'm trying to teach him is that there's lots of different flavour profiles, which there is to beer and food, right?
Yeah.
And if you manage
Such a professional.
if you manage to get a dish that hits something that is sweet, salty, acidic, citrusy,
That's the idea, isn't it?
umami,
It's meant to go
apparent,
everywhere. Yeah,
if you
of
get
course,
the
yeah.
one that hits the whole thing, then that is the ultimate dish, right? And that's what I was trying to teach Dylan, and but maybe he's teaching it with me.
Fuck off,
Well,
let me eat
fries and
fucking
milkshake.
fries!
Maybe all this time.
Why do you have to ruin every McDonald's trip? Ronald!
Maybe
Hamburger
I'm
over
teaching
here.
him something and he should be teaching it me. So yeah, well, fair enough.
All right, let me ruin the flavour profile bit of this, right? I've got no things that should go together that shouldn't. Here's some shit that my stepdad used to do, right? On a Sunday dinner,
Do you want this on camera? Sorry, folks.
Channel 4 dispatches. All right.
No, they're occupied with Russell.
Yeah,
Brand.
they're busy.
You're
They're busy
all
right now.
They're busy with Russell Brand. They're busy with Russell Brand.
Yeah, some random.
You're all right.
Right, Sunday dinner,
Yeah.
ketchup, which I've seen done elsewhere,
Oh, just
grim,
not wrong.
right?
Grim.
Where
Bad.
vinegar. So much vinegar that when you're finished, there's like a pool of it on the plate. Then there would be 2 spare Yorkies left over, one of which was mopping up that vinegary, ketchupy mess from the plate, right? And the final one,
What a waste of a Yorkie.
with
What a
lemon
waste.
curd.
Right.
Lemon curd on the final Yorkie. And he always argued that it was just a pancake.
Right, hold on. Right.
Yeah, but it's now filled with vinegar and ketchup.
I was totally.
Look what's happening. This is if a tornado was a human, it would be your facial expression when I go, whoa, whoa.
Because I was all like, dirty bastard, dirty bastard, dirty bastard. Oh, I'm making it of the Yorkie. Fuck. That's genius. Pure genius.
Dirty bastard.
It's called pudding. A Yorkshire pudding. So, yeah. The vinegar and ketchup, what the fuck's that all
No,
about?
what is that?
And mopping up the wet.
But is that not like?
Wasting a Yorkshire on the vinegar
But
wet.
if you added spice to that, you've got Frank's.
No.
Oh shit, yeah. No, I think you might be right with that, yeah.
Frank's is vinegar.
Like really
And
vinegary.
chilli.
And chili,
It's
but that's what I'm
certain
saying.
spice, yeah.
But
It's
if you
not
add,
adding chilies.
no, but if you
It's-
did,
it's got-
he's 2/3 of the way.
Oh, what? He's
Oh,
got. He's got.
He's 2/3.
Yeah.
He's 2/3 of the way to making Frank's, is he not?
Franco Blanco because he's got no chilies in it, and then but it's just vinegar wet.
No, yeah, it's vinegar wet. It's so
Mate, I'm telling you it doesn't work. Don't blame me. I
What
didn't
did
do
you
it.
do then? Like,
What did I do?
What did you do?
I left home as soon as
Dad, Dad, what is this? Like, this is wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just it was normal in the house, wasn't it? So
The lemon curd I can deal with more than the vinegar.
yeah, well the lemon curd, he just in his brain it was a pancake that
Yeah.
was the wrong
Which
shape.
it is.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
it is. It is
So,
a
yeah.
pancake.
It's pancake.
But it's
vibe.
bizarre. Like I'm just having a Sunday dinner as normal. Like, oh, you know, I'm having my roast, and he's like, right,
Oh, so then when did
bang the
you?
vinegar on it, and I'm having some lemon curd.
So you must have gone to someone else's house and gone, this isn't normal.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
It's my stepdad. So, like, I didn't meet him until I was like 5.
Right.
So I had the normal Sunday dinner experience until then, and alongside it. But then, you know, when we would have Sunday dinner, he'd be like, right, where's the malt vinegar?
Right, guys, I'm going to be a little bit weird here, but...
Yeah, strange, isn't it? Yeah. What you got?
What, on the malt vinegar?
And the fucking two things that don't go together.
Well, so...
Vinegar goes with everything we've established.
Well, it turns out.
There's no boundaries.
There's a few things, but on the dipping things in, literally in the last few weeks on the gram, I've seen a bird sit with a pint of Guinness and chips.
Seen that?
Fucking eating
She's dipping it, and she is
chips in a Guinness. And
I've seen it.
My brain went, fuck it. She's either trying to sober up, or she really enjoys it. And my brain went,
I think
that's not a good combo.
Is this still
No,
That is not a good combo.
I'm trying to do it, and like, it's...
No, but she's
because it's so savoury.
No, but she's dipping it like it's normal. So I've seen the video, she's like...
I've seen
it, yeah.
Is she sat up in a window?
Yeah, she's on the high
Do you know, I saw that and I thought it just had a spoon. Like the way she's like scooping it, I thought she just had a spoon. Why is she eating that like it's fucking ice cream?
She's dipping.
Oh my god.
And it's not fries, it's chip, proper
Chunky
chip.
chips.
Steak chips, probably.
Yeah.
And she's scooping the head of the Guinness.
Fucking hell.
Like it's a Mackey's fucking milkshake.
Fuck, man.
And my brain went, no.
But that's... So this is what it is.
Imagine
so,
the chef in that kitchen, right? Triple fry and then fucking chips, like Heston, like that. Just to see some fucking woman chuck it in a pint of Guinness at the end. This is the questioning his whole life.
This is the conversation I need to have with Dylan, because that's how it could end up. Because she probably
He's on a slippery slope.
He's on a slippery slope, because she is probably a McDonald's dipper.
Milkshake,
Just made that up.
dipper.
Milkshake, chipper dipper. Just made that up right now. And she's probably escalated to go, let's turn this into something alcoholic.
Yeah.
And
all
she's now dipped.
potatoes can be dipped in all liquid.
Yeah.
Go.
Oh,
Shit.
yeah, no.
So is that a nay? Is that a nay?
That's a nay.
It's your duty now, as a parent. Get
I have
involved,
to turn
mate.
this around.
Yeah.
Lynn, we need to have some words.
Just not that whole. When I saw that video, my brain went, no. You're ruining two perfectly good things. Chips. I love Guinness. I'll eat some chips and then drink a Guinness. I won't dip the fuckers in it.
I bet
I've
like
seen that video though. It's so crazy how she does it so confidently, and some. I don't know.
No cares in the world. She's just
But yeah, but the person recording, I don't know. It could be staged. I don't know.
I like to think of her like her fella, right? She's just got a new partner at home, right? Like, and he's like, oh, so what did you do today? He's like, oh, you know, I actually bunked off work early and took myself to the pub. I had some chips and Guinness. And he's like, this lass is fucking cool, man. She's gone for a beer and some chips. What a winner. Doesn't know that she's dipping one in the other. It's like, she's a fucking freak.
Goes out on the weekend, she orders the same thing, and it's like, puts the ring away.
No, not ready yet. Not ready yet.
No.
I'll save this.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell, yeah.
Yeah, chips and Guinness. Yeah, I've seen that. I can't believe you pulled that one out of the bag. Yeah. We are back, and Arron decided to choose a beer from Ball City. Awesome.
Yeah.
And he decided to choose the raspberry blueberry bubblegum bottles beer that has been cooking up a storm on Instagram and all other social media platforms.
Yeah, I decided to choose it is the term that you give that.
He wasn't forced.
Like the inmates of Guantanamo decide to be waterboarded. That's how I decided that one.
Yeah, pour
No,
away.
I'm sure it's going to be
Yeah,
lovely.
pour
It's
away.
very blue.
I mean, look at it. You
We've
can
had a
see-
warning though about
Green
what
shit.
happens tomorrow.
Green shit.
Transit times.
Jason, would you? Wow.
Transit
Jason, would you
times.
like to explain transit times?
That's blue as fuck. That, isn't it?
Basically, a transit time test is basically to figure out how long your constitution works from start, entering the mouth, to finish, exiting the
Pour
anus.
yourself.
So the transit time test consists of making a muffin and hammering it with as much royal blue food colouring as you can muster. 2/3 cactus.
Small cock, big cock, danger.
Let's put these away.
Very accurate.
That was just for anyone who's listening without the visuals. That was us moving some cactuses.
OCD then.
Yeah.
So the transit time. So you make these muffins. You fill them with a ton of royal blue food colouring, and it's got to be royal blue. And then you eat the muffin. And then you basically have to wait until you start seeing green poo. And that is how long it takes your system to digest food.
So I've had this beer before, and when I had it, I had green poo. For multiple poos. I think it might have even gone on to the following day.
Nice.
And the day after. So that's how that conversation came about. So...
Top them up. Can I just ask a question about the transit test?
Yeah.
Would it work with Yorkshire pudding and lemon curd instead of
If the lemon curd had loads of blue,
Yeah.
so it was a blue lemon curd, then I
That
guess-
is
the most bluest beer you can
Fucking hell.
see, right? It's
Cheers, lads.
crazy.
guys. So raspberry, blueberry, bubblegum bottles.
For me, it's just blue WKD.
But what's your first thought? That kink of the nexus.
Yeah, wow. So like it's weird that this like the initial taste, like that sour, the blueberry bottle thing, I don't think lasts that long when you first have it. I think that's like brief.
So
Your tongue's already blue, lad.
So for me, I was just astounded by this beer just because it was natural ingredients and they were trying to imitate a sweetie beer or a beer that, a sweet, that is naturally sugary.
Yeah.
So for me, I just couldn't. I was underwhelmed by the fact that it didn't taste like fizzy blue bottles to begin with, but then when I sort of broke it down and tried to understand it, I was like, well, they've tried to do it with natural ingredients, so like...
Do you appreciate it as a feat of engineering?
Massively.
Right,
Okay. But then it did have a whole host of like nostalgia. So for me, I got like blue...
Here we go. I love this.
Blue ice pops. Do you know like blue ice?
Yeah.
Mr.
Blue.
Freeze ice pops.
Yeah.
Blue WKD. Anything that is in the
Just
flavour of blue.
Yeah, that blue raspberry.
Did you get any dabba-dees, dabba-das?
I got a load of blue. Yeah. Do you know what? I fucking hate that song. It's in the family playlist, and I skip it every time. But because because more people like it than don't, unfortunately, it has to be in the family playlist. But I hate it. But it's so blue, isn't it? It's like a weird. How do you get a head that blue?
So I understand that. I really get the feat of engineering, sort of point of view on it. I can't help but become my dad and be like,
That's not a beer.
it's not beer though, is it? And I understand that it obviously it is.
It's not beer.
Have one of these, and then I don't know what it is. No, Scottish.
No, he gives you. What was that beer that you had that you posted a picture of?
Facts. Here's a fax. Yeah. Facts for you. Fucking hell. No, I don't know, because I do quite like a sour beer. Like if the thing is right, like in the summer, I think it's lush. Like it hits the same things as a shandy. Like if you get it, you know what I mean. It's just fucking mint. That tart, it just you need to drink more of it.
All right, so
it's mint. I like that for the summer, but for that, it's just like
purist feelings aside.
Okay,
what's your thoughts on it?
My thoughts are, if I'd poured myself that, if I was at home, right, and I had that can, I'm drinking the whole can of it. Absolutely, it's not offensive. It's not bad. It's a nice thing. But if there was another one of them in the can left, I'm not fighting you for it. I'm not going
I want that.
I
mean, this is my second time having the beer. And I love fizzy blue bottles, which is what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
And I didn't buy another can. And I wasn't going to buy another can. And I'm only having it on the podcast because it's to talk about. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
in that sense.
It is a one and done.
Does that make it gimmicky? But does that matter?
I don't know.
Does that matter?
For me, for Vault City, no, because this
That's
is
what they do.
Yeah, it
day
is,
in,
yeah.
day out. The only criticism is that I think they could have done it as a higher AVB.
Yeah.
So what is it?
4.5,
right, okay.
yeah. So
I think
sometimes Vault City, I think, undergo the AVB because they think more people will appreciate not being as a little bit thicker.
yeah.
But I think this especially, being a little bit more viscous and being like 6%.
That poo being extra green.
And just a little bit more tautness at the front.
do you know what?
If
they pushed it further and made it what I would almost call worse, it would be better.
Yeah.
Because you'd go like, if it was really sour and it was really tart and it was like
Lip
almost,
smacker.
like you'd go, oh, that's what they're doing with it. But with that, I'm like, that's quite pleasant.
Yeah.
Is it as pleasant as a Blue WKD? I'm not sure.
Okay.
Alcobox.
No. You know what I mean, though. Like, if you're going for that artificial flavour, they haven't gone.
But
They haven't pushed it.
So they've nailed it, creating the flavour. They've nailed it.
I tell you what, it makes me really want to try the Iron Brew one.
Oh, mate.
That's what it makes me want. It makes me want to see what they've done there. It doesn't put me off them. It makes me want to have more.
Do you appreciate the attempt a bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You'll love the Iron Brew then. And the Bucky.
Yeah.
Bucky was fantastic. I think they've got to release that again.
They've got to. So they do Iron Brew every year, and they do Bucky, I hope, every year.
Bucky was 11%, so it had all that extra.
The sour apple, I think, comes every year, and now the lemonade. So there's a whole raft of them that.
So they do an apple sour one.
What was?
Do you know, like the apple sour?
Yeah. What's the one that you had yesterday?
So that was Even Cloudier Double Dry Hopped Hard Lemonade, which is a cloudy lemonade beer that they do normally at about 4 or 5%. They did an 11,
they did a mega
for their 5th birthday. They did an 11% version. So I don't think they'll do that.
No.
Did you like as shout out? Where did you get that from? Beer Shelf.
Yeah.
Mint. Very good.
Yeah. Very good.
Are there any bottle shops we should shout out? Do you do that sort of thing?
Well,
I know that obviously we're here. We're here. These guys do good stuff, but like I'm a bit out of the way. I really struggle. Like that's why the Worley Wine Shop, which by its name is clearly not a beer shop, it just has some beer that it does. Like I go there maybe once a month to go and have a check out what they've got. They seem to mainly get the same breweries in. So like when they get like new releases, they'll get them, but it's like Burnt Mill, which are pretty average. Like it's all right. They never do anything bad, but they've never wowed me. They do get some like Sure Shot stuff in up there and bits and bobs, but it's pretty similar. I got a Quaff in, that's K-W-O-F-F. Quaff.
Oh,
that's in Bury. And then the other day I went down to, did I say where I was going? Prestwich, somewhere in Prestwich.
Oh, okay.
It was called like Keg and something. And that was all right. It was a bit expensive. Like it was one of them where like, it was just, everything was,
there's money around there.
Everything was 75p more than it would have been everywhere else. And you're like, well, I know, like why is that? I think you know Augustine Helles? Why is that $4.25 a bottle? Like I know it isn't. I know it isn't. I've drove past 3 places where it's cheaper to get here. Like that's location. But those are all
location.
In my accent.
For us, I think we're just blessed to have lots of places nearby, and Leyland Bargain Booze does normally deliver.
Yeah.
And then
Big shout out. No,
a lot of these 11 places that are in Preston Pub Fest also deliver. So we're just lucky in that sense. So
I think
maybe move to Preston, mate.
Yeah.
Just put my kid in school, man. I ain't moving anytime. Move him.
Why are we moving, Debbie?
Yes.
Why are we
Get
moving? The craft beer.
Yeah. No.
Upgrade your life to Preston from Worley.
All right, guys, let's go to the final segment. So, questions by the crowd.
Oh yeah, so since we decided to reboot this a year later, we threw some questions out on Instagram. Well, he did. So we're going to answer some of those from some of our loyal three.
Have both of the viewers got in touch?
So what?
I said three because
One of them was from you, and it wasn't a question. It was like, "I want to be back soon." So we got you one.
say that.
Yeah, we got you one. We fulfilled your
Done.
Yeah, done.
Tick.
The other one is from Chewy Does Craft. Also wants to be on the podcast, so you're always welcome, mate.
Yeah.
We'll DM you at some point.
We've got a fourth mic.
We have got a fourth mic functionality, so
Yeah,
we'll definitely get that sorted.
we'll get more people on. Chewy, you're on the list.
But one of the questions he did ask was, and this is quite controversial, but also quite an interesting topic, is do you think breweries have made one beer but distribute it with two different names?
Well, I mean, I guess you mean like when it's not been badged up and stuff, because that happens all
Are
the
they
time.
are they making the same recipe beer but then badging it as something different? Is what I'm thinking. So this is the annoying thing for me. The first brewery that comes to my head is Polly's. Now I don't think that Polly's are doing that, but they distribute so much beer and they have a very fixed way that they do their recipe that some people might think that every beer tastes the same. Now for me, as someone who breaks down beers quite often, I don't think that they do that, but I think that unfortunately for them, they've got a bit of a reputation that that's something that happens. But I don't think that's the case with Polly's. But that's my sort of way of explaining how that might come about. So do you think breweries do that, or do you think it's a very controversial topic?
I don't know. I really like Polly's, right?
I love Polly's.
What Polly's do, because I'm like, in my little beer group on WhatsApp, and it is really, like, there's three of us. There's no need for us to be a group chat, you know what I mean? But like, the amount of times, like, if one of them will go, oh, I've been and got these from the shop, and he'll do like a little unveiling of what he's got, and it's loads of stuff. Yeah. And then James will go like, oh, I've done loads of stuff. And I go, I've got this pale, I've got this IPA, I've got this IPA, DDH IPA, that's a dipper, and that's another IPA, because I like that style of beer. Yeah. That's my thing. And like, boring, but that's where I am. So like, exactly. I'll explore that zone, that's fine. And I think that's where they are. So they make a lot of incredibly similar beers where they'll just swap stuff out, but I'm all right with it. I don't think they're gonna.
No,
they're not putting out.
I don't think breweries are capable of doing stuff like that. I think
unless you're Brewdog.
The whole purpose of craft beer is to experiment, right? And try new things, try new recipes, and be experimental. I can't imagine that a brewer has got to a certain point in their career where they've gone, I figured out a single recipe.
And it's the best.
It's the best.
What can it?
And I'm going to deliver it as the same thing every time. I do think it's a little bit that maybe some people aren't able to break down beers as well as others. And for them, palates and stuff, and it maybe just tastes the same. It's an interesting conversation. I just don't think it's something that they do.
I don't know.
Not in craft beer. I don't think it's that easy to.
That's an interesting thing because I
think macro level, yeah.
Macro level, then are we not just changing
label?
A label and a few little other things.
I mean, like the whole Madry thing. Madry is bollocks, isn't it? It's just it's marketing. It's cause plus a label. Like
exactly.
But that's different.
It's cause plus a label, and they probably brew it in 3 different places. Only one of them Spain.
None of them are Spain.
None of them is Spain.
It's literally brewed. It's brewed in England, man. I read a thing about it, and it's like they bought. Is it Coors that one? Is it mostly Coors?
So we were talking about this before, yeah.
They bought a brewery, out in Spain, and then went, and we're releasing a Spanish lager. Not related though. They bought a tiny one out in Spain that doesn't produce that lager.
No, they're marketing it as Spanish.
And then they made one in England and went, this is our Spanish beer. What a lot of shit. Yeah. I always think I would think of Colonel as the brewery who like make a recipe but change out hops for like seasonality and like what's new and whatever. But they don't pretend anything's the same. And considering they're using the same recipe and everything's different, that would make you think that's probably less possible than a skeptic might have. But I have also worked for a brewery who...
Drama! Exclusive!
I've worked for a brewery.
Here he is, Mr. Blue Tongue.
And do you know what, right? Narrow it down because the people who know me, I've only worked for 3. So, right? I've worked for a brewery who were a Phoenix company, like a tax avoidance scheme of another brewery who brewed the previous main selling beer under a new name and all the locals knew.
That's it, right?
And when the camera's not rolling, I'll tell you who that was.
Right, well, stay tuned into our Instagram and we'll let you know
Copper Dragon!
Who that
Oh, there goes the gram content. But
Ta-da!
Dragon of Copper.
Okay, so we got a few more questions.
Yeah,
one style for the rest of your life. I think we'll just keep this one pretty quick. So for me, double IPA.
Sours.
Sours?
A sour.
For you?
Like a DDH IPA, like big hoppy IPA. Not quite double, because I want more of them.
Oh, yes. Okay.
But I want that, like...
Yeah, okay, I get that. Nice. The other one is, given time, will Chain House be better than Rivington? I don't think it's a competition. It doesn't need to be a competition.
No, I agree with that. But if I'm going to pick sides, then based on what I've had, no. Not yet.
I don't think it matters, personally. Any thoughts on that one?
I think they've got their own distinctive track that they're hitting down.
Yeah, I think everyone's got their own little roadmap.
There's room for everything, man.
There's room for everyone, and that's all that matters.
Every brewery has like a signature.
Yeah.
To what happens, and Rivy and Cheney
are two separate things, aren't they?
They're very different. And the other thing is they brew together.
Yeah.
I think I might have had a collab of them.
Yeah.
So,
Evil Dead collaboration at Halloween is coming up, so hopefully they will collaborate again.
Yeah.
The last question is, and I hope you've been doing your dinosaur research, favourite dinosaur?
it's
Velociraptor for me. I mean,
it's really easy to go I do have a T-Rex
it's
tattooed on my arm, so I'm going to have to T-Rex.
Do you?
Really. Yeah, so yeah.
I've
I've got him tattooed like a lady with a little flower.
Oh, lovely.
Pretty girl.
Oh,
yeah, it's probably going to have to be that. Yeah.
I've got a really bad joke.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Does it begin with P? Don't do it. He's doing it.
It's alright.
Do it.
We'll skip it.
You can't mention there's a joke and then not do the joke.
Yeah, might get cancelled.
Well, we can edit
By
it
the
out.
dinosaurs?
So if it's in, then you'll be pleased to know it was friendly for the podcast. If it's not in, then this is the outro. Go. Yeah, so thank you very much. That was episode 7 of 2/3 1 podcast. Tune in for the next episode. Lejabo, Hopstain,
Mash.
Arron from Mash Beer.
Arron.
Peace.
2/3 1 podcast.